Good morning, friends. Welcome to GoOnlineTrainings.com. Today, we're going to learn a very important concept, which is called ranking functions in SQL Server. As a developer, we can write a lot of queries, but using these ranking functions, you should be able to simplify the things which are very tough in the existing version of SQL Server. Okay, so if Microsoft is introducing something new means, so earlier you should be able to do by writing a lot of complex code, but if somebody is giving you function, that means that existing complex code will get reduced now. Okay, it'll get simplified. So now we have a ranking function, so these are used to provide rankings for the rows based on one or more conditions. Okay, we have row number, rank, dense rank, and tile, and partition by clauses. So these were introduced in SQL Server 2005. So almost 12 years back, Microsoft introduced, right? So, and we're also going to understand running total. So let us understand how to write the syntax for the ranking functions and where and all we should be able to use, ranking functions. Let us discuss. Okay. So you can select star. Star means all columns, or you can write column number one, column number two, column number three, like that, comma. Ranking function name. Ranking function name means we have row underscore number, rank, dense rank. Function means you need to have these two braces at the end. Remember that. Function means you need to have these two braces in the end. Partition by is not a function, which is a clause. Okay. So you need to write columns, then comma, function name, over. Order by means you need to sort the data based on one column. So you may provide a descending or ascending. If you don't provide anything by default, which is ascending, so you can give alias. This will give you a new column. So that column should have an alias from the table name. Now, what is the purpose of ranking functions? The row number which is going to give you returns the sequential number starting from 1. I wanted to give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. You should be able to use a row number function. Okay, so let us quickly go to SQL Server and try to write these functions. Okay, now use iBank. So we have a table called account master tables. If anybody wanted to get this database, please let me know. I think this database is also available in the sheet drive. You can just restore this. So I have 62 rows here. When you go down, you should be able to get 62 rows. The same information is also available here. You have 62 rows, and you have connected to iBank database. And who is connected? I am connected. So everything you should be able to get it here. Okay. So now when you execute, you should be able to get it. So I wanted to have account ID, and I wanted to get name of the customer, and I wanted to get C balance. So I have some data like this. I wanted to have a row number. So this is not the row number. Somebody thinks that this is not a row number. This is SQL Server is going to give you. I have some data here. For this, there is no row number 1, 2, 3. I wanted to give row number. For that, you need to use row underscore number. So this is the function name over. So over is compulsory clause you have to give. I wanted to sort the data. This is a syntax order by. You can take any one of these columns or which are not displayed. For example, you may have lot of other columns in this table, right? So any column you can take. So I am going to take account ID. If I don't mention anything which is ascending or descending, which is ascending, or you can also mention descending if you want to have. If you don't mention anything, or you can also mention like this, it is ascending. So let me execute this. So it is giving you a row number starting from 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. The last number would be 62. Are you getting? So if somebody asks you, using a query, you should be able to get a sequential number. So row number is going to be used like this. Okay. So you have to give some alias. So I'll say row number. Okay. So when you execute, you should be able to get like this. Okay. So this is the thing that you have to be understanding. Now, sometimes what people are going to ask you is that I wanted to get, so let me add one more column. So we have account ID, name, clear balance, branch ID. We have various branches, branch BR1, branch BR2. We have some, five, six branches, I think. I think we have nine branches, right? So lot of data like this. So row number always starts with one. You cannot say I wanted to start with five or I wanted to start with six. It cannot be done. So it always starts with one. So remember that point. Now I wanted to have the row number based on branch wise. For example, I have all branches data, but I wanted to have a branch BR1 data should start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. When the branch BR2 starts, again the row number has to start from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are you getting my point? So for example, I have set of employees. I wanted to give the row number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for everybody. But I have a requirement saying that I need to have a row number for gender wise. That means for male, I have to divide two groups, male group and female group. For the male group, I wanted to start from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, for the female group, if I have lots of females, I wanted to start again from 1. So this is what is called, I wanted to restart the row number for each and every group. For that purpose, we're going to use partition by clause. Okay, so there is a clause called partition by. Okay, so now how can we use this? So when you see this here, the data is not organized based on the branch, but when you say here inside the over clause, so I wanted to write this. So here you have to use partition by branch ID. So first it is going to create two groups, not two groups, groups based on the branch. And within that branch, which is going to sort the data based on the account ID and which is going to be giving the data for you. So let us understand. So now BR1 data is grouped together. Now the row number is starting with 1, 2 like that. So when you come down, you have BR1 people, there are 17 people are there. And when the BR2 data group put together, again the row number is starting with 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 people in BR2. And in the BR3, again it is grouped now BR3 people and customers and 1, 2, 3 like that. So it's going to partition. Partition B means it's grouping. So male people one side, female people on that side. Like, or you have country wise, grouping we do, right? So partition by just like a grouping only, it's going to group the data and the row number is going to be starting with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. Again, when the new group comes, the row number again starts with 1. Are you getting this point or not? So partition by clause is used along with the over clause, and you have to grouping the data, partitioning the data, and within this group the data will be sorted based on the account ID, and you should be able to get. If you don't want to keep account ID, you may have any other column. For example, I wanted to have name wise, I wanted to sort name wise ascending, that is also fine, there is no problem. So within this BR1 it is going to start the data with ascending order. So here Rahman Anil like that. If you wanted to have descending, so you can also have descending. So any column you can keep within the branch BR1 data, you have the data in the descending order. And when you go to the branch BR2, the data again it comes. So it groups it by branches within the data. It's going to be sorting based on this column which you are giving. So any column you should be able to give. So I wanted to have C balance descending for each and every partition. So you go to this one. So now the maximum people. the highest balance people are in the first within this branch, like that, it is given you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. Clear? So without partition and with partition. Okay. Now somebody may ask you that I wanted to get fifth row. So let me remove the partition here. So the first one we discussed only this, right? Continuous numbers. Okay. So we are not partitioning anything, but the total 62 rows. But somebody says that I wanted to get 14th row. So this is the 14th row, right? So get only this row. So can I get 14th row? So if somebody asks you, you can use a get row number, but get the fifth row or 14th row. So I wanted to get the fifth row. So normally to get the fifth row, what we have to do? Where? So you have to use row number equals to 5. If somebody asks you like this, then if you write this, let us understand. So this is giving you invalid column name row number. So this is completely invalid because a row number is not a column, which is an alias. So you will not be able to write the same thing, which is giving you a issues. Now instead of alias, this is alias, right? You should not keep the alias. Let me take complete stuff, complete code, and I would like to copy it here. So I wanted to get row number, fifth row I wanted to get it. So it is clearly saying that windowed functions can only be appear in the select clause or order by clause. So this is also completely wrong. But how do I get it? Okay. So how do I get the fifth row? So I wanted to get the fifth row, that is this one, or I wanted to get the sixth row. So you will not be able to get like this. So there is a shortcut way. So we can use a derived table concept. What is a derived table? Yesterday we discussed, right? So a query in the from clause is called as derived tables. Let me write select star from, open the bracket, you have to close the bracket. Now this query is there in from clause. So let me say k, because derived table must have alias where. Now row number I wanted to get, row number equals to 5. Let me execute this query. Yes, you should be able to get the fifth row. Is it clear? So without a derived table concept, you will not be able to get the fifth row because now this is the query, but this name is K. Inside the K table, there is a column name called row number. So you're able to get row number now without having any issue. If you don't know the derived table concept, so writing these queries are pretty much difficult for you. Are you clear? So I wanted to get fifth row from each and every branch. Okay. So now I need to fifth row, or I need to get the first row from each and every branch, means the same thing you need to use here. Select star from this entire query, and I say you have to give this one, and where whatever be the name of the alias you have to give. So this would give you from say fourth row from all branches. So this would give you fourth row from all branches. You have BR1, BR2, BR3, BR4, BR5, BR6. Okay, so from each and every branch, it is able to give you. If you need to get first row from all branches, okay, you're able to get BR1, BR2, BR3, BR4, BR5, BR6, BR7, BR8, BR9. Because if you're giving four, you're not able to get some of the branches because in that branches there are not more than four customers. So 7 and 8, 9 is not there because the customers count is 1 2 3. I think 1 2 or 1 2 3. Fourth customer is not there, hence there is no thing here. Clear? So if you wanted to get for each and every branch, I wanted to get second row. So you have from BR1, the second row is John, something like that. Are you clear? Now, this is what is called a row number, and row number with partition by clause. And if somebody asks you, I wanted to get the particular row, then you should be able to put whatever be the number you wanted to have, first row, second row, third row, like that. You should be able to pick it up. Yeah, am I clear? So, good. Now, the next functions we have to talk about is rank and dense rank. So returns the rank for each row with gap. Dense rank means returns the rank for each row without gaps. Okay. So let me tell you what is that. I have a balance and I'm going to use rank function and I'm going to use dense underscore rank function. These are pretty much used. So we have a balance that is one column. Then afterwards, I'm putting rank function. For example, I have the data like this. I have 10,000, I have 5,000, I have 4,000, I have 4,000, I have 3,000, I have 2,000. Some data like this. In the ranking functions, this is the first rank because highest balance customers are first rank customers. This guy would be second rank customer, and this is a third rank customer, and same rank, so the rank number 3 will get repeated because fourth and fourth, two people are having the same balance, right? So third rank will be repeated. And here this is a 3 and next rank would be 4, but the 4 is not given here, 3 will be given. So which is going to be skipping the fourth rank and is going to give you fifth rank. So since it is repeated once, the fourth rank is skipped, and the next rank you will be able to get is fifth, and after that you will be able to get sixth. Okay, when you see this and this, there is a gap. So when you see this, the next one you will be able to get with gap. So that is the issue. Okay, if it is repeated 3 3 3, if it is repeated means, so you think that 3 4 5 and 6 will be coming next one. Okay, so ranking function which will give you with gap. Let us talk about dense rank. So it is the first rank, and this is the second rank, and we have third rank for this, and we have third rank. So here you will get the fourth rank, and here you will get fifth rank. So here there is no gap. So even though you got same ranks, okay, you got same ranks here, so it is going to be continuing from, after 3 you will be able to get 4, then 5. But when you have duplicates here, the next rank will get skipped. That is what is called rank. Okay, this is what is called dense rank. So however your system is asking, so based on your requirement, either you have to choose a rank. So rank always will get gaps, and a dense rank never give you any kind of a gaps. Continuous, rankings will be given 5. So that is what is called difference between a rank and a dense rank. Okay, so now how can we write these functions? Okay, now let me go here and use ranking function. For the ranking function, let me take the same query, control C, and only change the function name, right? So instead of row number, we have to give rank. But rank is always based on the C balance, right? Descending order. So you can say any alias you can give. So when you execute this, you will come to know. Okay, so highest balance customer is Javed Akhtar. He's a first rank, second rank. When you come down and come down, there are some duplicates. So 19, 19, 19. So 17, 18 is fine, but 19 lot of duplicates. So after this, you should be able to clearly, after 19, you got 24. Have you seen this? There is a gap in this. So if you get the same ranking for many number of customers, so continuously, so this is 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. It is 24. Okay. So it is going to be giving a gap. Now I wanted to use, so rank, comma, I wanted to copy paste everything, but I wanted to have a dense rank. Okay. So here I'll say D rank. Let me execute both of them and understand what is the difference between these two. So I have a rank and I have a dense rank. So when you come down to here, after 19th, you have 24th. Here, after 19, you have 20th rank. There is no gap in the dense rank. So this is what is called dense rank. So there is no gap. 19, 20, and 21, 21, 21. Again, you got 21, 22. But here, you got, 19, 24, then 25, 25, 25, 25, again 29. So rank will give you always gaps, and dense rank will give you rankings without the gaps. Okay, so using rank functions, you should be able to get who has the highest balance in your uh, bank. So we were writing a lot of subqueries. Do you remember? Now you should be able to simplify those queries. Who has the highest balance in the bank? If somebody asks you this, so first rank. So I'm going to use the second highest. Sorry, I'm going to use the dense rank. So I wanted to use where rank number equals dense rank or rank number. So you can say simply R number, rank number. So I should be able to write a derived column concept. So now from open, and you have to close it here, and where R number equals to 1. Why R number equals to 1? Because this is alias is I have changed it to R number. Now he's the guy, the first ranker, Javed Akhtar. If you wanted to get the second rank, guys, you should be able to put 2 here. So which is now very, very easy. You need not write subqueries at all, right? But we had only one option those days, uh, that is only writing subquery. But now you have a dense rank. You should not use rank, because when you use a rank may have gaps. For example, I wanted to get the 10th highest customers, but when you use a rank, you may miss the 10th highest. You may get 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 11, 12, like that. But somebody asking you 10th rank, the rank function will not give you, because rank will have gaps. Okay, the better is that you must use dense rank, and you should be able to get the 10th rank customers. So we have Ishwar. Okay, and if you have 19th rank, these are a lot of duplicates, right? So pretty much easy to find out 10th highest balance customers, second highest balance customers. We have Sailu, Kavya, like that. A lot of people are there with the same balance. Okay, if you need only the name, you write only the name in this. That's it. If you write the name, so you will be able to get only the name from there. Clear? So these are the people 19th highest balance customers. Are you getting? So writing first highest, second highest is pretty much easy now. Are you getting? Now, people may ask you in the interview, they need, don't use ranking functions, you give me the logic. So then we have to use a subquery logic, and you have to write and give it to them. Or they may say use ranking functions and write the logic. So find out the highest balance. So you should be able to use both these concepts. These are compulsory questions in the interview. You cannot run away. Now the people are going to be asking you, I wanted to get uh, a partition by. Also I wanted to use, why partition by? Because I wanted to get the ranking based on the branch. For example, I have, I told you, right, we have a female group and we have a male group. In female group, who are the highest? In male group, who are the highest? I wanted to have highest based on the grouping. That is what is called partition by. So now I wanted to have, you can use ranking or dense rank, doesn't matter. So inside this, you have to use partition by branch, or you can partition by gender. In our example, I'll say partition by gender, but here I'm saying partition by branch. Okay, so now you should be able to get the rankings based on partition. So now when you execute this query, I have BR1 data. The first, highest balance in this is having Javed Akhtar. But when you go to the branch number 2, the highest balance guy is Radha Krishna. Radha Krishna is highest balance is holding in his branch. Okay, but when you go to the branch number 3 and Bhaskar is holding highest balance, so I wanted to use a partition by clause. Partition by clause means you're going to group the data in a within a group. You're going to provide the ranking starting from 1 2 3 4, something like that. So I wanted to get who has the highest balance in the I wanted to get branch wise. Okay, branch wise, highest balance customers. Okay, so I'm not talking about only in a given bank who has got highest, but I wanted to go in branch BR1 who's the highest, branch BR2 who's the highest. If something like that, then you have to copy and paste the same query here. Okay, so when we execute, because this is going to be giving you branch 1 data, but I wanted to have where r number equals to 1, it is going to be giving for all branches. So we have br1, the highest balance is having by Javed, then Radha Krishna, Bhaskar, so ma Hadi, Rashi, Namita, Kajal, Nisha, Saravya, like that. You should be able to get for each and every branch who's having highest you know uh, balance. So partition by clause is very, very important, which is pretty much easy to write the queries with the help of ranking functions. If something is new for you, that means what, earlier we have to write lot of queries and lot of logic you need to think of. Now, with the help of ranking functions, you should be able to write these queries very, very easily. So always, try to learn the new concepts in each and every version, because new concept means the simplified logic. That's what you need to think of. If somebody says SQL Server or Oracle giving you a new topics, means you should not be afraid of, because new topic means new features, means the existing stuff only will get simplified with the new features. So try to learn the new things. That is definitely worth learning. Okay. So now we are able to understand what is the row number, rank, dense rank. The last one we have to talk about entire. So splits the data into n number of groups and assigns an unique number to each group starting from 1. So I wanted to divide the people into two groups. Okay, so I'm talking about now entire. For example, I have 100 people. I wanted to divide 100 people into three groups. So, or I have 50 people. I wanted to divide the 50 people into two groups. We will have 25 people and 25 people. First group, the group number is 1. The second group number is 2. So entile is going to create the groups. Here you have to mention 2. 2 means two groups. If you mention 4, it will be 4. So total number of rows in the table divided by 4. Okay, so that is the meaning you have to be getting. So the rank function also, uh, sorry, not rank function. The query is, you have to use entile. Instead of this, you have to put entile. So say I'm going to give you 2. Now partition by clause, let me remove. So which is going to be sorting the data based on, if you don't give any sorting order, which is ascending. Okay, so this is not this one, this is a group number. Okay, so total data in account master table, I have 62 rows, right? So you will be able to create 62 by 2, that means 31 31. So first 31 rows will be having group number 1, and rest, the remaining balance rows will be having group number 2. This is what is called uh, entile. So entile function, which is going to be giving like this, I'm going to use entile of n. N means you can put any number there. Okay, so which is going to divide the data based on the number which you're going to give you here. Okay, so I wanted to divide the data. So first 31. So you can see the first 31 rows is under one group, and again group number 2 started, and here you have remaining 31. Okay, 31 and 31. For example, if you have 63 rows, now I have 62 rows divided by 2 means I will get 31 comma 31. But if you have 63, what is going to be happening? So one will have 61, but another group you may have 32 rows. Okay, na? Because 30, 31, 31, 62, but I have 63. Say some groups may have one or two rows extra also. That is also you have to remember. So 31 people will have group number as 1, and remaining 32 people will have group number as 2. That's it, because you're going to create only two groups. When you have four groups, now you're going to get 4. Okay, so now 62 by 4, you will be able to get 16, 16 like that. Okay, if you create five groups, so that is also possible. You should be able to create five groups. Okay, so first group 13 like that. Second group we have to some 26. So it has created a total five groups. Whatever be the number, the last group number would be 5. If you wanted to get, sometimes what the customer is going to ask you, take the data, split into two, and send one group data to India server, and remaining data you send it to New Zealand server. So I wanted to split the data based on some conditions. Okay, based on account ID, or based on countries, or based on something, I wanted to split the data. So and give the numbers. Clear? So ordering, order by account ID, or order by or something like this, you wanted to sort the data based on something, and after that you wanted to split two groups or three groups, and group number 1 should go to India, group number 2 should go to America server, group number 3 should go to New Zealand server. So if you need only single group, now I need only group number 1. For that purpose we have to again use a derived table concept. Okay, open the bracket, close as K, and I wanted to get where the alias you have to take. I wanted to get only group number 1. Group number 1 means all these records will be given it to you. Only group number 1, 13 people. If you need group number 2, group number 3, this data only you should be able to collect and give it to some other people. Are you getting my point? So like that, you should be able to get only group number 2. You have again 13 people. If you need group number 5 or group number 4, here you should be able to write the same thing. So now let me execute this and do it. Are you getting? Are you able to understand? Okay. So this is what is called entile function. So hope you're able to understand when should I use row number. Row number always is going to get you the row numbers for each and every query. Okay. So whenever you get a credit card bill, so you will be able to see the row number, serial numbers they'll say, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And last month we had done say 130 transactions. So starting in number 1. For the second customer also, you should be able to find out the serial number. The serial number they're able to get with the help of row numbers only. So we have a rank always with gap, dense rank without gap. Entile is going to split the data, it groups the data, and for each and every group, you will get a unique number starting with 1. Am I clear? Now, fine. The next important concept that you have to be asking is common table expression. Okay, so it is similar to derived table concept. So common table expression is also introduced along with ranking functions, that is in SQL Server 2005. CTE can be declared once and use it many times. Okay, so now with CTE name, and here you have to have the column names, and as you have to write the query. So this is your query, And this is the CTE syntax. CTE always starts with, and you have to give CTE name and column names. So column names are not mandatory; these are optional. You can simply say with CTE, and you can leave this portion, and you can say as. Here you should be able to write the query. So read the data from the CTE, select star from CTE. But why we have to use a CTE? So it is clearly saying it is similar to derived table. If it is similar to derived table, what are the differences of derived table? Let us understand. Okay, so let us understand CTE versus derived table compulsory interview question. Okay, and they're going to compare CTE with the temp table, CTE with lot of view, CTE with something else, lot of things people are going to compare. So let us understand what is this all about. CTE, it is declared once, use it many times within the query. It's declared once, use only once. It's slower, but it's a bit faster because it's going to be used only once. Supports select, update, delete operations, and derived table supports only select operations. So select from, and you write the derived table. You will not be able to write delete from and derived table. That is not allowed. Clear? So to understand CTE, one small example I had given here, find out the branch which has highest number of customers. Okay. And in our simple example, there is a lot of people are there in a single room. I wanted to find out a gender which has more number of people. For example, you have a male and female, and male is having a count like 62 people, and a female is having count like 78 people. So which is a gender is having more people means female, right? So like that, which is the branch which is having more number of customers? So if you wanted to write this query, so first let me go and take the query first. Are you able to follow the query? So the query, I'm able to copy and paste it here. Okay. Find out the branch which has highest number of customers. Now, first is that we have to find out branch wise customers first. So for that purpose, I have to use count from account master table. I wanted to use group by clause. So I wanted to have a branch in this. Okay. So when you see which is the branch which is having more and more customers, now you can know the BR1. Okay. Now the second highest is BR4. BR4 branch is having 12 people, and BR3 is having third highest, like that. Okay. So now again you need to write the same logic. First you need to find out the maximum. What is max? Okay, or find out max. Find out max. And the second logic you have to use which branch has it or who has it. Okay, so if you go back to the subqueries concept, so this is your query. So this query is giving you some data, but using this query you should be able to find out the max. So how do you find out the max? You have to say select max of CNT. From which query? From which table? There is no table because this query you need to use from this table only. Okay, from this table only you should be able to get as K, you should be able to get max of CNT. CNT means a column name, so it is 70. But now the question is, this is going to give you only the max, but I don't need the max. I need who has it or which branch has it. For that again, I have to use the same query. From this query only, I have to find out the branch. From the same query only, I have to find out 17 also. So this query, I'm going to use here which branch. So I'll say select branch. Okay. From where? from from this is the table you think of. Okay, this is the derived table. From this only I have to find out. So take this and keep it here. So from this I want to get as K, where CNT equals to max of CNT. Where is max of CNT? Max of CNT is here. So the max of CNT is logic. So this is going to be giving the max. Okay. Now this is very, very complex if you understand. Okay. Now it is not very easy for you to understand. So the logic is pretty much simple, but the code is getting more and more because of the logic. Okay. So this will give you what is the maximum, that is 17. Wherever the CNT is 17, bring the name. So when you execute this query, this you should be able to get branch BR1. But when you put star, you should be able to get this. So this is a pretty much simple query, but because of this derived table, this is pretty much a large query. Now the question is that the question people may ask you, okay, this is my derived table and the derived table is name is K, and I have used the same query again here. And again, I'm saying, say K, instead of, copy and pasting entire table, since I have declared as K here, but simply can't I call this as a K? If I say, because already we are saying this is a K, from the K only we have taken CNT. Again, I'm going to this table only. I wanted to get from the same K only, I wanted to get out, max CNT. So I have used derived table here. I wanted to refer this in my next where clause. So this is what is not allowed. So if you wanted to use, it is saying invalid object name. Okay, that means it is saying even though you have created there, so you in this only you should be able to use here only. But if you need again, you copy paste entire stuff. Okay, you copy paste entire stuff and here and okay, you may give same name or different name. You may give as K or as P, doesn't matter, but create once and use only architecture. This code, you can keep it here. Again, from this clause, again, you have to copy, paste the same code, give some different name as J, as K, doesn't matter. The same name also you can give. So this is the disadvantage. What is the disadvantage? You are not able to use or repeat the same code in the same query. When I'm not talking about one more query because select from where we are in this where only. So I'm not able to repeat the same query here. So if I need the same query again, I'm copying and I'm pasting it. If you have 3000 or 10,000 line of code here, if you wanted to use the same code, whatever be the purpose, and that you need to copy and paste. Okay. So the derived table concept is you can write a query in the from clause, but the same thing if you wanted to use again, you have to copy paste entire the query again here, but you will not be able to refer. So create once, use only once. Create here, use only here. Create here, use only in this from clause. Are you getting? So that is what is the disadvantage of the derived tables. It is declared once, use many times. To avoid this, I wanted to use the same query. So instead of going for the derived table, then Microsoft says, why can't you try with CTE? So CTE syntax is like this. You have to say with CTE. Let me go back and try with CTE. Okay. Now the same query, we're going to use CTE. Now how can we write the CTE? CTE, this is the query we were using everywhere, right? So what I'm trying to do, I'll say with, this is the CTE will start with, okay? I'll say my underscore CTE, and as you have to give a query. What is the query we were using? This is the query we were using, right? So from this query only, we are able to get branch. From this query only, we are able to find out this. Now, you take this and you have to copy and paste. Okay. Now we are able to create it. That's it. So if you compare the derived table, so derived table means a query and there is a name. This is also query and there is a name. The name you can also say K. So what is K? What is J here? What is K here? K means a name, right? So here, what is the K? K is a name. So this is also perfectly fine. And this is how you have to declare. So how to read the data? Below you have to write select star from K. What is the K? K here is the CTE name, or you can say my CTE or whatever you wanted to have. Simply, I can say and execute. Okay, you're able to get the data. Now, I wanted to get where, okay, C and T. C and T means this. C and T equals to, open the bracket, select max of C and T from which table? From K. Now see, I have used K once, I have used again K once. So the same query is now simplified like this. You are able to get with only one line, because this is the code I wanted to use. In one from clause, I have used the same query. Again, from one more select statement I have written here also, I should be able to use. So create once and use multiple times. Okay. But now same query is simplified. So which is the branch which is having more number of customers, means the query is very, very easy, and which is a simplified. Okay. But the same query here, you should be able to use derived tables. You have to define here, you have to use. Again, you're trying to find out the max here. Again, the same code you have to copy and paste. Are you getting? So the scope for the derived table would be, okay. So we are talking about scope 5, scope. So we're talking about derived table scope, and we're talking about CTE scope. Okay. So within, this is a single time within query. Okay, that is what is the scope. Within query, you should be able to use only once. But this one, I'm talking about CTE, is not like that. CTE is not the single within the query. Okay, it is multiple times. For example, just now I had shown you, right? Multiple times you should be able to use it. So this is a single query. Now from here to here, when you execute only this will give you errors. So never execute only CTE. CTE should have below uh, the select. So this is compulsorily you have to execute. You cannot execute like this also. Okay, this is also giving you error. So CTE is always you have to execute like this. Okay, you are able to get. But what is the problem of the CTE? You can use within the query, many number of times. But I wanted to write one more select. This is a new query. Select star from K. Okay. So in this is a single query, and I'm executing this. This is fine. So I wanted to execute this also. Okay, so two queries. This is one query. This is one query. I wanted to execute CTE in multiple queries. Okay. Now it is giving you, for a first query answer is this, but second query it is telling you invalid object name. That means what? That means CTE cannot be called in one more query. So hence I have written only within the query you should be able to call the CTE, but in another query you will not be able to call it. Are you getting? So that is the scope. Many people will be asking this interview question. Okay. So derived tables within the query you create there and use it there. Again, if you need, copy paste the same query and you should be able to get it. But we are talking about common table expressions. But this is within the query only. You should be able to call multiple times, but you cannot write one more select statement. Okay. So the one more select statement you cannot write. So these are two queries. So you're able to call multiple times here, K and K, that is fine. So it's able to give you a lot of data and without any issue. But when you include this query also, then definitely, which is going to be giving lot of issues. So the scope is you will not be able to, call the CT in another query. The limitation is within the query multiple times. Yeah, am I clear? But I wanted to use, because see, this is the query we have created as a derived table, and this is the query we have used as a CT, because same query I have used here also. But the people can say, if you wanted to use in multiple times, I wanted to use in this select statement, I wanted to use this in select statement, so then definitely CTE cannot be used because CTE only one query, okay, multiple times. So if you wanted to use multiple times in multiple queries, then the best option would be for temp tables. Temp tables you should be able to use. So, how can we, create a temp table? We know how to create temp table. You have to take the same query and you have to keep like this. Now, into hash, okay, when you say into hash, and you should be able to give some name, okay, say branch count. So, what is the branch count? Branch count is a uh, or customer count, something like this, customer count. Okay, customer count is the table. This is a temporary table. So when you remove this hash, this will become a permanent table. Already we know it. So when you use into keyword, all the result set will be stored in the new table called customer. So I am not using permanent table. When you prefix hash, okay, this will become a temporary table. So temp tables will be created inside tempdb database. Okay, so temp tables are placed inside the tempdb database. Even though you're in ibank database, you will not be able to get it, right? So this is the query and all the result will be gone here. So now this is the query and all the result we're keeping them in a k. So we are also giving a name here, but here also there is a query and there is a name, but it's a temporary. So let me execute this. So I have executed. Now I wanted to call the temp table. So how to read the data from temp table? Already we know it. So select star from the temp table name. The temp table is Control C and Control V. You should be able to see the data. Okay. So using this temp table, I wanted to find out which is the branch which is having more number of customers, where CNT equals to. So I'll say select max of CNT from the same temp table. Okay, so that's it. So this is how people can use the same query, and they had created one query. The result set is stored in this. They're using the same result set and they should be able to find out here. Okay, you're able to get it. Again, I wanted to call once more. I wanted to find out something here. Select star from this one. So I should be able to call both of them. Will it work? So created once. So this is one result set. This is another result set. It's created once, calling multiple times. So instead of a derived tables and CTE, we have one more concept called CTE also. So everything is having the same query. But what is the scope you have to understand? People will ask you the temp tables. Okay, so what is the advantage of temp tables? So multiple time usage and not within the query, within the window. So this is throughout the session, throughout the window means I'm talking about whatever the query window you have used multiple times. Okay, multiple times temp tables. But what is that? So this you should be able to call. This is my window. I can call multiple times within this window, but let me open a new query window. Let me, okay, multiple times you have, and you should be able to get multiple times. But the only thing is that you will not be able to get it. Select star from, let me take the same thing here, and you will not be able to go to one more window. You will not be able to get this. Okay, so the query is that, the scope is that only within the window, only within the window you should be able to get it multiple times. So here you're able to call whoever is created. So this query is created, only window number 63 can use that. But if you have window number 52 or one more window, you will not be able to get it. So that is what is called a temporary tables, which is called local temp tables. Okay, but I wanted to use the same thing here, and I wanted to use in another window means you have to use double hash. Okay, so double hash means you should be able to create the result set into one, and you go back and take this, and you should be able to call here multiple times, call here multiple times. That is fine, it is working fine. And here also you can use multiple times, there is no issue here. And you should be able to go to next window and call this time. Okay, so if you wanted to use the same query only once, then go for the derived tables. If you wanted to use the same query in multiple times, you have to go in for the CTE with that. But I don't want to use it further, then CTE is sufficient. I wanted to use the same query, but within the window I wanted to use multiple times, then you can use for a local temp tables, that is single hash. And if you wanted to you can use, and others also wanted to use, then you can use global temp tables. Okay, we're talking about same query but different ways of usage. But as I told you, the temp tables will be available in a database called a system databases, and you have a temp DB, you have temporary tables, all the local and the global. So this is a local single hash, and there's a global double hash. Are you getting? So all these things will be, created in this, but not in temp DB. But when the temp tables will be removed, when you close your sessions, when I close my sessions, so I am closing this. Okay, even though I have closed that session. I go and refresh. Whoever is created and that connection is lost, then temp tables will be lost. Or you can still keep the connection, but you can also say drop table. Okay, if the connection is still there, but I wanted to explicitly drop the temp table means you should be able to drop like this, or you can also put like this. Okay, so pretty much important concept that you have to understand derived tables, CTE and temp tables, compulsory interview questions. So what is the scope? If you understand clearly, and should I use derived tables? Derived table means a query with the alias, and CTE also a query with the alias, but you should be able to call multiple times. Temp table means a query, and the query results that you're able to store in one more table, right? So that will be there in the temp DB database. Okay, single time within the query, multiple times within the query, multiple times within a single window. Okay, you will not be able to use. I am talking about here local temp tables. Okay, in the global temp table means multiple times in across windows. So that is the point you need to add if any interviewer asks. Am I clear, guys? Any questions? Very, very important concept. So you have to be thorough on this. Are you clear, guys?